All right, so we have an interesting situation. We have located the perpetrator. Let's see, where do we do all of our square root stuff? Alright, so we have one here. We are generating evaporation issues and permeation issues. So let's just try this. Equals 0. And then if moving water does not equal 0, no. Right. Now down here we have oh, wait a minute. Alright, same deal. If tile temp float 1 does not equal 0, then do the math. Okay, let's shut this guy off, run it again, and see if we still have purple on the map. Yeah, sort of like can recognize the logic. Uh-oh. Evaporation square root has caused a problem. Oh, wait a minute. If it does not equal 0, then why? Did I mess something up? I'm confused. Alright, so I went ahead, moving water, 0, moving water is calculated from temp float. So I'm going to check to see if temp float is 0 or not. If it is not 0, then we go ahead and we calculate moving water. Or moving water in. Then we check to see if moving water in is nan true. Evaporation and infiltration is still generating those values. And we are still generating nans. Hey, Valacatsis. So, did I fail to properly update Unity with the new files? I don't know, because I don't see how we could possibly now be generating if this float is not a real number. Unity debug log infiltration square root caused problem. But I screwed up down here. I was checking the wrong value. It should be evaporation volume. Right, so if we were having a problem up there, we'd have a problem down here. Alright, so either way, I guess I'll go ahead and I will run this code and see what we get. Evaporation square root caused the problem again. I wonder how many instances okay. So I got something that we can test. Let's cheat. We are going to make evaporation volume 1. We're going to make moving water in 1. And then we are going to go ahead and ideally, turn this off and turn this off. So now there's no way to possibly generate those not a real numbers because there's going to be no square roots. So now we can determine whether it's being generated by something else and being passed along. I'm so sure that I'd fix that problem. No, that's weird. Alright, so good news is we're no longer getting the nans, I think. Bad news is I have no idea why they're being generated. Anyone see any purple? I don't. Alright. Did I misorder this? That is so weird. What? I guess once the variable is contaminated with naminess, maybe what? Okay, rein in. Then we determine. We're trying to figure out what. There's no way to get a nan without. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so yeah, maybe once it's contaminated, like, that's it. How about this? Let's cheat. Do we calculate this anywhere else? No. Right. So. Cheat for now. So I'm curious whether. So if no nan occurs here, then that means there's once a nan, always a nan. Is that? Can you confirm that? Once the variable has been nanized, you can't reset it to anything else. Because if that's the case, well, I guess we'll find out in a second. That would explain a few things. I was making all these sort of post hoc attempts to fix it, but. Any expression that has a nan argument evaluates to a nan. Nan is not a real number. When you either divide by 0 or you take the square root of 0, right? So this is when the robots rise up to kill their human masters. Like, this is how we're going to defeat them, right? Is we're going to get them to calculate nan, and then they just can't do anything about it. Yeah. Well, it's like infinitely large and infinitely small or something. Alright, well, I'm not seeing any nanification. ahead and start fixing things, I suppose. So what we really want to do should be something like this. Set U to 0. This is what's weird though, because if temp float was 0, it should have excluded this calculation from even being made to begin with. See, that's what's weird. Okay, no, I had set it. I'd force set it to a particular argument. What's confusing is this should have never even been calculated. I'm so confused. Because this, as it is, if temp float does not equal 0, I'll do this calculation. Otherwise, moving water is 0. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me try this again. Well, alright. Right, this should have excluded the calculation from happening to begin with, and the default value should have just been 0. So what's going on here? Okay. That's weird. Why is it upset? Alright, so evaporation volume. Okay, we're good now. Let's try it. Let's see. Oh, sorry, what were you saying, Mr. Ed Makes? What happens when you compare a floating point to an integer? Which value gets converted? I believe you have to cast the ints usually to usually have to cast the integer to a float. Otherwise it defaults to an integer, I believe. Evaporation volume is a float though. 219. Oh, I see. So what you're saying is it could be defaulting to, but it's not 0. But then wouldn't that just actually make it even safer? Here, let's try casting to a float. See what happens. Well, let's see what happens here first. What happens here is tons of problems. Okay. Alright, so let's just go ahead and try casting those to floats. As I usually don't check. I very rarely have ever checked to see if a float equals 0. But you know what? There's a safer way to do this. This is actually pretty clumsy. I was just kind of being lazy. You should be checking for less than or equal to 0. It's really the proper way to do it. Because you're not supposed to generally check for exact values when it comes to floats. I know there's some weird stuff that goes on. That should be sufficient right there. No, this is good feedback, though. Thanks. I've been jumping around between so many different languages lately that, like, it's hard to keep things straight in my head. I'm just now getting back to C#. Bounced over to C++ for a while longer, and to Python and Scala, then back to C# again, then to GSQL and SQL. It's like, just focus on one thing at a time. Alright, so now we're making, hopefully, I guess, there's a good chance previously this was being run despite temp float not equaling 0. But see, that's weird. I don't get it. See any problems yet, other than it just being slow because the burst compiler is off. Okay, I think that did it. Yeah, you were right, Mr. Ed Makes. It was, I shouldn't have been making a... The real comparison is not necessarily that I cast the 0 as a float, but that I was making a precise... Oh, you know what? I know what it is. Floats are called floats for a reason, right? You can't make a precise comparison to a float within a certain number of decimals or something. And so when it made that evaluation, it was technically reading, in some cases, 0 equals 0, but in others it was reading like 0.000001 does not equal 0, so therefore run the calculations anyway, but then the value really was 0, so then it ran into it being undefined, pretty sure. Yes. I think. Yeah. Looks good. It's all this sort of deeper computerish type stuff that I'm actually not very good at. That's what I have Calandula around for. Let her out of her cage when she has a math question that I need answering, or when I have a math question. Okay, so good. Moving water was set to 0. Question now is, we got to do a whole lot of tuning. Yeah, what's going to be awesome is when the real life map mode starts using soil moisture instead. It's going to look amazing because you can see some of the variation stuff is screwed up in the meantime, but that variation is going to be way smoother once we make that transition. It's going to be really cool. Yeah, I do have to talk about Cal talk to Cal about why it's rendering this way, because I think the temporary droughts might be too austere. talk it over a little later. His, oh, you know what? Let's go ahead. So here's the thing. I'm wondering, is our permeation stuff working? Water movement. Soil moisture. Something's weird about soil moisture. It's not filling up fast enough. We need like a better multiplier. But it's going in. Ooh, I've got an idea. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead. We're going to remove all of our logs. I'm going to keep you for posterity. We'll kill you too. No, we'll keep you for posterity. May want to reactivate you later. I want to kill you. I want to kill you because it says delete. Let's explain what we're doing here. Make sure we don't accidentally produce any delicious man. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna save the world. We're gonna save the world. Yeah, we're gonna save the world, then we're gonna go ahead and run. Oh, you know what? We gotta re-enable burst compiler. Then we're gonna go ahead and run it in game time. And then we're gonna watch the soil fill up and see how long it takes. Because I think we're gonna have to multiply. We're gonna have to do a little math and multiply, scale up the units involved. Because it's filling up way too slowly. Then after that, we have a few choices. Right now, plants are not drinking any of the water, and so hey, good stuff. So it's going to be really hard to tune any of these values. Pretty good. Okay, so let's go ahead and save. Flow world. Now we will load it in runtime and then let it rip. Make sure make sure we don't have any issues. We haven't done any tuning yet, but that's okay. What should happen is the amount of water that is in the soil should come into sort of equilibrium, because it's going to be consistently draining out. A certain percentage drains out, a certain percentage comes in. Alright, here we go. Here it goes. It's pretty good. Seems to be behaving with all of the glacial melt code. Strangely, We have some melt. Which could be fine, to be honest, because, well, maybe not. We'll see. So here we have some more glacial stuff. I feel like our evaporation is not working. Remember, because all of this had evaporated before. We had added in some very... Oh. No, we can't check. Fuck. So we don't have a debug mode. This makes things so much more of a pain. Temperature, forging yield praise, forging pop density, permeability, it's not really useful sand, rainfall. What? I'm clicking here. I'm going to Demian debug. And, okay. There we go. Water movement. 24,390. Water level. Soil moisture. 7412. So let's do this. Let's give it a few months. Damian, I have a question. How do you ensure that, given the approach to SOT game mechanics is correct, if you usually only use one world while testing? Shorter answer is I'll then, once I get something nailed down, then I just switch to other worlds. I generate a bunch of others, test it against those worlds, and then make revisions as necessary. Right? But I found that, like, trying to develop on worlds that are constantly changing is a fucking nightmare. Because then you can't zoom in and understand the behavior of a particular area because it's constantly changing on you. Alright, so let's let the glacial melt die off here. Alright. Let's run it through the dry season for a while. So in theory, water should be draining out of that tile. Okay. So it was like around 7,412. Now it is 7,616 accumulated. What is the soil texture here? It shouldn't have accumulated more. I feel like it should have lost some. Soil texture is relatively sandy, so it shouldn't be retaining that much water. Let's run this while we look at the code. Now let's go to the section where we should be losing water. Right here. saturation. Okay, soil moisture declines now. So it seems like let's run it again for a while. Seems like it's come to a equilibrium that kind of is around 7,000s. Do you have programming nightmares with this intro music every night? It's more like a feeling of like having an old friend with me every time I hear it. It's like soil moisture. Okay. All right. So it looks like the wet season just ended. We built up extra soil moisture. Now we should expect that it would go away as we go into the dry season. And it has, okay. Not really sufficiently. You would expect, given that this thing turned into a freaking raging river, you'd think that it would contribute a lot more water than it did. Nostalgic for this music. So what's going on there, I wonder? Soil moisture. Alright, so let's do a hypothetical. Let's go ahead and grab the figures involved. So what's our texture? So sand 4509. Silt 3327. Clay 1299. Now let's calculate how much water we should be losing. Oops. I'm in the wrong spot. You know what? I think I know what the issue is now that I'm looking at it. Also, it's a little loud. The issue is that we're losing a lot of water, but you would expect that during the wet season it would be really saturated. We lose water first, and then we fill it up. So you'd expect that right before the wet season hits again, boom, you'd be exhausted of most of the water, and then it would surge. Let's see, what's our sand percent? 4509. 3327. 299. Alright, so our total first off soil material is 9135. Okay. Sands, 49%. Salts, 3327 divided by 36%. New information. I visited the wiki page and it said it's in danger of being closed within the next 15 days due to dormancy. Yeah, that we're in the process of porting the wiki someplace else because the original guy that set up the wiki ghosted. So yeah, so we'll be fixing that. Thanks for bringing it up, though. We'll have to revise all of our links. Sure, wherever the wiki happens to be posted. Alright, so now let's calculate how much water we're losing here. So, let's see, sand percent. So, 0.49 times 0.25. Silt percent. Yeah, I think I see where all of our water went. I'm just wondering why it isn't lower. How did I let this happen? Yeah, so this is how much water we're nuking each time. What's weird though is how little water is able to infiltrate. I'm wondering if maybe just not enough water is able to penetrate during the wet season, and that maybe it's just mostly rain that's getting in, and water movement it isn't. So let's test that out. So let's test. Here, what is our water movement at that moment? Rainfall is... Oh, do we not have a variable to express rainfall at that moment? Guess not. Water movement, though, is 44,690. Moisture is significantly higher. 028. Okay. 44690. All right, let's do another calculation here. 44690. I have a hypothesis. Oops. During wet season, I think we're not adding water movement into the soil sufficiently. I mean, this is problematic, but I don't think this is the cause. We'll need to revise how much is leaving the soil, probably, because losing half our soil every single tick is not, no, that's not gonna work. No, We can calculate this relatively easily. So infiltration is going to be multiplied into both rain in and total water added. Alright, so let's say we have 44,000 water moving through that tile. Square root of 44,000 is 209. Which is a lot. Let me see something. I wonder if I'll be right back. Let me think about this. So, thing is, like, there's a lot of water moving through these tiles, and it seems like it should overwhelm the rainfall that ends up in the tile. Curious. See, that's weird. So, something's wrong because here we have soil moisture, which is 11371. which there's no water movement here. So why would the value be so high? Let me go to this tile. It's 11350. It's like it's not even being added or something. What? No, hold on. Try again. Yeah, soil moisture is 8,000. So we have more soil moisture where there is no water movement. How can that be possible? Moving water in. Tile temp floats times infiltration. Okay, so let's go ahead and log out this tile's values. What's the tile ID for this guy? Six, 3, 9, 9, 4, 8. So now what we'll do is we'll go back down here. Capacity, soil moisture. Well, a lot of this stuff is going to get logged out in that tile anyway. Current saturation, infiltration, rain in. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Let's change the ID. 6, 3, 9, 9, 4, 8. I think it was 6, 3, 9, 9, 4, 8. Yeah. All right. Fortunately, that means we're going to have to turn off the burst compiler, but I think we'll be okay. We'll just see a bit of a hiccup when the tick happens. We shouldn't need to make a new world. All we're doing is changing the logging code. Oops. Okay. Okay. Oops. That sucks for them. Sandstone. I was wondering why there's so much sand. Alright, water movement. Huh. Tick actually isn't even that bad. But it should have logged out. Okay. Move water in 0. Well, there's our problem, ladies and gentlemen. For whatever reason, we're not adding any water in. Why? Water move in. What happens? I probably... Fuck me. I set it to 0. That... I left it at 0 as part of my debug attempt, but no, that should be fine. That should be totally fine because moving water. Hold on. No, it should be set to 0 because then we check it and then we recalculate it. If Oops. Yeah. I see. You know, I may have made a second mistake now that I think about it. Where was my other square root check? Evaporation? Right. So, the reason I fixed the bug was because I just completely deactivated the calculation entirely. Oh, that's embarrassing. Okay, so as far as I know, everything could still break at this point. Wonderful. At least I know where the problem is. Okay, let me just save the world again because I borked all the values. Okay. Move water in. That's interesting. Ah, there we go. Capacity. Swell moisture. Whoa! Alright, it's picking up some water now, that's for sure. And we have no bugs. And evaporation is working a little too well, maybe? Let's tune that back. We've like murdered all of our rivers. But it's working, at least. Okay, so so what's happening right now actually is about half of our water is infiltrating. Let me try something. Let's do an experiment. Let's go ahead. Villacatsis? Yes. Yes, I mean the short answer is yes, right? In fact, you even see where rivers disappear in some situations here when there's no glacial melt. like you saw it here, right? Let's actually just go ahead and start it up. Let it run for a few cycles. Right, so no river. Oh no, what's happened? This isn't supposed to happen. What's happening? All the water's being sucked out of the world. Hold on. Hold on, what did I change? Stop it before everything dies. What did I change? What did I change to make this happen? Here. Oh. Did I? Hold on a minute. Everything's under control, Cal. Everything's fine. Everything's going good. Don't be alarmed. Hold on. Rain in. Water added to soil moisture. Oh, that's... Hold on. Something is not right. Float. Total water added. Move water in. This is just the gross figures, but then I do this multiplication stuff, which is to scale the units up to match eventually with vegetation. Maybe I really just shouldn't do that. That's a mistake, because then when we start getting into aquifers and stuff like that, it's gonna really confuse stuff. So this is gonna be much better. When plants get thirsty, we'll just do the math on their side. Alright, so when we recalculate water flow, we want to add in what rains, then subtract what rain went into the soil, and then subtract whatever water moved into the soil. Capacity minus soil moisture. It's just... I had this variable because I wanted to express it. Let's just do this. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. We need to totally revise this. So here's the weird thing, right? Our capacity needs to be related to soil depth somehow. For now, we need to ask ourselves how much water can be stored in the soil. 5,000s. Eventually, I feel like we want to have a soil depth factor, right? So if we have soil that is not at all deep, then it's not going to be storing much water. Let's regen our world. That's like, we need to add organics too, so when we get around to organics, we can then add in the soil depth factor as well. Still screwy. Is it really soaking that much water? I guess so. I think I have an idea. Well, let's see what soil moisture looks like. Moisture 8,000s. Wait a minute, how do we get to 8,000 soil moisture here, but not in a raging river? That makes no sense. 6,800? Doesn't that exceed capacity? Oh no, it depends on texture. Okay, so if literally the soil texture can't hold more, is there that much of a soil texture difference here? Well, we can click and find out. So here, where we have soil moisture of 2,000s, what does our texture look like? Very sandy. Here, it is still... How much more sandy, though? Soil moisture. That's weird. Yeah, something's weird. Well, first thing is first. Yeah, it looks like any water movement that occurs, like, rapidly just gets vortexed straight into the grounds. Soil moisture 1382. And now we have radically high soil moisture here. But the capacity, it shouldn't be possible to exceed the capacity, which is what's confusing me. And so first off, let's see if I can fix this. Should be able to just cast it. And then divide. For some reason, we're like blowing past the capacity in some cases. Total water added is rain in, moving water in. So if total water added plus pre-existing soil moisture is less than the capacity, go ahead and just... Oops. Okay, let's try this again. Let's make sure we have no more 200s lurking anywhere. No, we do not. Okay. Drip. Still have some... Well, let's see. Okay, now soil moisture is like nothing. But okay, hold on. Not necessarily. Alright, let's save what we have and then see what soil moisture looks like as we run the algorithms, maybe. Oops, didn't need to do that. Let's run a few months. Oops. Ah! We burned the world down again. Oh. Okay, let me see something. Oh god, now I don't even know where I'm looking. I think... Oh, pause. Why is it gyrating back and forth like that? Why would it terminate? That is weird. Oops. Okay. Temperature deviation, wind speed, quality. Okay. Your elevation is not negative all those numbers, so that's not right. Elevation 41, that sounds right. Hilliness, grass, permeability, sand, rainfall looks normal. That's weird. No, water movement's not 798. Why is it measuring 798? Weird. Now it's saying 789? No, maybe I just read it backwards. Why is the map mode... Why is the map mode measuring something way above 789? That's weird. registered down here. On the map mode, and it's not modified at any point after that. So I don't know why we're getting what we're getting. First off, let's figure out this subsoil drainage issue while it's on our minds. So we should take this value, which is effectively a percentage. Now let's get the difference. Cut it down substantially because we don't have enough parentheses. This value, and we apply this value to soil moisture. Right. There. Oops. No, sorry. So let's say our loss is I think I see where there's another problem. Okay, let's pretend this isn't here for now. Let's just look at this value here. So let's say our sand percent is 50%. Hell, let's say it's 75% sand. Okay, so 0.75 times 0.25. Yeah, I have it backwards here. No, I don't. It's right. Or is it? No, I don't. Yeah, it's supposed to be 1 minus those values. 10%, 7%, 5%. Because I'm supposed to lose a lot with sand, so for starters, we should have something like this. So let's say we did have 0.75. 81%. Alright, so then 81% of the soil moisture would drain away. Okay, that's a start. Then we want to take the difference of that value. So here, let's wipe you out. Difference of that value. difference of that value. Cell percent. Oh, you know what? Okay. So actually, alright, so let's say we did have 0.1825. 1 second. 0.1825. 1825. Yeah. 1 minus 25 divided by 3. Minus 25. Get that value, divide by 3. I think that gets us what we want. Okay, so sand percent 0.25. So let's say 0.1825. 1 minus 0.1825 divided by 3. And that should be our water loss. So extremely sandy soil would lose about 28% of its water. Seems reasonable. So let's say we had super silty soil. So let's say we had 0.75. 1 minus 0.75 divided by 3. 1 minus 0.8. We only lose 8% of our water. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, that works. Alright, so we're taking this crazy ass equation here and we're sticking it in here. Okay, let's try that out for size. Try that on for size, out for size. Okay. Alright, so we should no longer be getting that wacky inverse value. Probably still, unfortunately, going to get water being sucked out of the soil, or sucked out of the waterways into the soil. Water's still soaked up. That's okay for now. I just want to make sure this issue is resolved. One thing at a time. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Let's just load. Alright, so we still have the case of the mysteriously vanishing water bodies. Oh wait, but when we run it, a little longer if I recall. Right. For fuck's sake. What is... What? I can't even open debug? Give me a debug. Open. Something is really foobar. It's back now. Oh, I'm stupid. It was always there. I just forgot to open this stupid log. Okay. That is totally bizarre that all of the water on Earth mysteriously vanishes. Well, I think I have an idea. Water movement. Soil moisture is only 129. Like, what? Still only 129. What is going on? Okay. So. Permeability, water movement, soil moisture 55. Oh. Alright, so each phase should be logging out these values. Maybe I just... Okay, let's do this. Let's let it run. Capacity, that looks about right, 2,717. Soil moisture is garbage. Current saturation is minuscule. Infiltration, 0.38, that seems reasonable. Rain in, 23, right, so it's barely gonna grow. Move water in, 1, 2, 12. I guess based on the water movement we see here, that's reasonable. Rain in. Roughly the same. Yeah, it's still the same because we have no glacial stuff going on. Why does that happen? Soil moisture. Okay. Alright. It says a whole lot of water is moving in. I don't see a whole lot of water. Oops. Wrong. I want debug. Okay. Yeah. Lots of water movement. Let's go ahead and run this by Cal. Hey Cal, you still around? So it seems like, aside from the other issues we have, the map mode is... Oh! That's interesting. No, it didn't end. The map mode was just busted. Got some screwy map mode update issues. Sometimes the water movement map mode is just wiped out between ticks, but then when you manually refresh, it's fine. Wonder if it's related to the fact that burst is turned off. I'm logging some stuff out, so I wonder if that's... Okay, well that's interesting though, because what this means it's weird though. Soil moisture is still fucking garbage. I don't understand. Hold on. Am I logging this out inappropriately? Soil moisture, no. Soil moisture equals rain in, moving water in. Let's try dynamically calculating how much water is lost. Yeah. Floats. Water lost. Then we'll do the math. Water loss multiplier. Let's just do this. Let's try again. Alright, so now we'll be, in that tile, we'll be calculating how much water drains out from the soil. Another factor that we need to include too, though, and that is water loss from bare grounds. bare grounds will lose tons of water. So the more stuff that grows on a tile, the more it prevents evaporation off that tile. We're gonna have to save this again. Infiltration. Rain in. Move water in. Where? Oh shoot. Ah! I logged it out as soil moisture. Yeah, that's the water loss multiplier I expected. So, okay, here's the water loss multiplier. And that would effectively be water loss. Ah, yeah, I see. Somehow managed to get it wrong again. But wait. Weird. .185. Minus 0.275. Right. Gotta be a better way to do this. Oh, no. That's the difference. There. See, now it's back. Weird. at least see if moisture is accurate. Make sure we get the right spot here. Water movement seems accurate. Soil moisture 406. Okay, that's an improvement, I suppose. 406 went through a month. 406 to 505. Alright, so we're storing more in the wet season. $553. $576. Capacity set at 5,000, so like curious now. Let's go someplace where we know we have massive quantities of water. Alright, water level 308. So no. Excuse me. 1,949,655. And soil moisture is only 219. Well, we have other issues to sort out right now, particularly heavy cow noises. I need to figure out the infiltration issue. I think just way too much water is infiltrating in most places. We don't really see it here, but let's go out beyond sort of the riverine areas. So let's get the idea of this tile right here. Yeah, I'm not thinking about animals yet, though. Water loss multiplier. Okay, so let's track this new tile. 974821. Here we have water loss, sort of water drained out of the tile. The current soil moisture, capacity of a given tile, current saturation, infiltration, rain in, water move in. Okay, so we want to know how much water is getting sucked off the tile. The thing is, a whole lot of rainfall is going to get yanked off. You know, I bet our evaporation's probably too draconian. Let's revisit that real quick. Ooh, yeah. So let's say we have 30 water moving through a tile. And let's say the humidity is 0.6. Oh yeah. Then we end up losing like 30% of the water via evaporation before it's even moved anywhere. Which is, I don't know, kind of what we want. I don't know. Oh, you know, we should track evaporation too in the log. So I'm gonna change that next. Alright, let's go ahead and run this. Let's see, capacity 3,651. Rain in is 23. What was rainfall? Oh, did we not log that out either? Okay, well, let's get busy. So let's do this. Problem is, I needed to know what water movement was before. Let's try this. Modify at any point here? No, we do not. So let's do this. So all of our sources up here. moisture, current saturation, infiltration. Oh yeah, evaporation. I forget which tile we picked exactly, but it was... That's so weird. Okay, let's see. Rainfall is 68. Water movement is 141. Capacity is 3,651. Evaporation off that water movement is 37. Right, so this is why our water is disappearing. Water drain is fairly small. Soil moisture, 3,648. Current saturation is extremely low. Infiltration, reasonable. Rain that went in, decent. Moving water that went in, not really meaningful, but not irrelevant. 141 isn't a lot of water. Alright, so this is what we want to do first. First, we want to tune back evaporation somehow. Like the base value is too high. Base evaporation. What did we... That's weird. 40? That's weird. Alright, well let's... Rivers are a little healthier now. Well, I'm gonna keep working on this, but call it the stream for now. Probably gonna hang out with the family soon. Oh, I wish I could have gotten this working completely, but whatever. Alright, I'll see you guys later.